Picture this: someone who jogs every morning, eats clean, doesn't look overweight, and posts gym selfies, suddenly collapses from a heart attack. And everyone says the same thing, but they were so healthy. Here's the scary truth: looking healthy is not the same thing as being low risk. Heart attacks don't only happen to people who look unhealthy. They can happen to people who seem fine on the outside, because the risk can be hidden in places most people never check. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 real reasons healthy people can still have heart attacks, and what you can do to reduce your risk in a simple, realistic way. No fear-mongering. No complicated jargon. Just clarity. And before we start, this is general education, not personal medical advice. Everyone's body is different. If you have concerns, talk to a qualified healthcare professional. And if you ever have sudden, severe chest pressure, trouble breathing, fainting, or symptoms that feel dangerous, get urgent help right away. Okay, let's get into it. Reason number 1, genetics and family history. This is the one people don't like to hear, because you can't outwork your DNA. If close family members had heart disease or heart attacks, especially at younger ages, your baseline risk can be higher even if you're doing everything right. Genetics can influence how your body handles cholesterol, inflammation, blood clotting, and how your arteries respond to damage over time. So what can you do? Start by learning your family timeline. Not just, someone had heart problems, but when? Was it in their 40s? 50s? Earlier? Also ask what the event was: heart attack, stroke, stents, bypass surgery. This isn't about panic. It's about information. When you know your family history, you can take prevention seriously earlier, and you can bring that info to a doctor who can decide whether you need closer monitoring. Reason number 2, normal cholesterol numbers can still hide risk. A lot of people think, my cholesterol is fine, and they never look again. But here's the problem: heart risk isn't one single number. Some people have cholesterol patterns that are more dangerous even if their total cholesterol doesn't look dramatic. Also, cholesterol is only part of the story. Plaque buildup and plaque stability depend on multiple factors like blood pressure, inflammation, and lifestyle over time. So what can you do to reduce risk here? First, don't treat cholesterol as a one-time test you did years ago. Track trends over time. Second, focus on habits that consistently improve heart health: more fiber, more whole foods, fewer ultra-processed foods, regular movement, and avoiding smoking or vaping. If you have strong family history or other risk factors, ask your clinician whether additional testing makes sense for you. The goal isn't to obsess. The goal is to make sure you're not relying on a false sense of security. Reason number 3, high blood pressure you don't feel. High blood pressure is called a silent risk factor for a reason. Most people feel completely normal while their blood vessels are under constant strain. And that strain can damage artery walls over time. It can speed up plaque buildup. It can make the heart work harder than it should. And you can be young, fit, and still have elevated blood pressure, especially if stress, sleep issues, genetics, or diet are involved. Here's how to reduce risk: measure it correctly. One reading at a random moment doesn't tell the whole story. If you can, take readings at rest, at the same time each day for a short period, and record them. Many people are surprised by what they find. Then focus on the big levers: sleep, stress management, steady cardio activity like walking or cycling, and nutrition changes that reduce excessive sodium and increase potassium-rich whole foods. And if your readings stay high, don't ignore it, bring it up with a professional. High blood pressure is one of the most fixable risk factors, but only if you know it exists. Reason number 4, hidden metabolic problems, even in slim people. This one shocks people. You can be normal weight and still have insulin resistance, blood sugar issues, or unhealthy fat distribution around organs. Some people call this being thin on the outside, stressed on the inside. And insulin resistance is linked to inflammation and artery damage. It can make plaque more likely to form and more likely to become unstable. How do you reduce risk here? You don't need extreme diets. You need steady habits. Build meals around protein and fiber. That means real foods like eggs, fish, beans, vegetables, yogurt, whole grains if they work for you, and nuts, things that keep blood sugar steadier. Reduce the constant intake of sugary drinks, snacks, and ultra-processed foods that spike and crash energy. Add strength training a few times a week if possible. Muscle helps your body handle glucose better. And something simple that works for many people, a short walk after meals. It doesn't have to be long. Consistency matters more than intensity. Reason number 5, nicotine, vaping, alcohol patterns, and weekend damage. Some people do everything healthy Monday through Friday, and then undo a lot of it on the weekend. Nicotine can harm blood vessels and increase cardiovascular risk. Heavy alcohol episodes can raise blood pressure and trigger heart rhythm problems. Even if someone is fit, these habits can add stress to the system in ways people don't connect to heart attacks. Reducing risk here is straightforward, but not always easy. Cut down nicotine, and if you can, quit completely. If you drink alcohol, avoid binge patterns. The heart doesn't just care about averages, it cares about spikes. And if you're using substances to cope with stress, that's not a willpower problem. That's a signal to replace the coping tool with something that doesn't hurt your body: walking, journaling, strength training, social support, therapy, breathing exercises. Whatever is realistic for you. Reason number 6, sleep problems, especially sleep apnea. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a major heart protection system. When sleep is poor, stress hormones stay higher, inflammation can increase, appetite regulation gets worse, and blood pressure can rise. Sleep apnea is a big one. People stop breathing repeatedly during sleep, even if they don't realize it, and the body gets stressed all night long. Over time, that can raise blood pressure and strain the heart. How to reduce risk: take sleep seriously like it's training. Aim for consistent sleep and wake times. Keep caffeine earlier in the day if it's affecting you. Create a simple wind-down routine: dim lights, reduce screens, relax your nervous system. And if you snore loudly, wake up tired, have morning headaches, or feel sleepy during the day even after enough hours, don't ignore that. It might be worth discussing screening with a professional. Fixing sleep can improve multiple risk factors at once. Reason number 7, acute triggers, stress spikes, illness, dehydration, and sudden overexertion. Sometimes, the problem isn't only what happens over years. Sometimes a heart event is triggered by a sudden spike, extreme stress, intense cold exposure, heavy lifting without preparation, dehydration, or training hard while sick. If someone already has underlying plaque or vulnerability they didn't know about, a sudden trigger can be the final push. Reducing risk doesn't mean you have to live cautiously or fear exercise. It means you train smart. Warm up. Build intensity gradually. Respect recovery. Don't do your hardest workouts when you're sick and dehydrated. Take rest seriously. And manage stress like it's a health habit, not a personality trait. Stress doesn't always announce itself as anxiety. It can show up as sleep problems, irritability, overeating, constant tension, or feeling wired all the time. Now, at this point you might be thinking, okay, so what do I actually do with all this? Here's the key idea: your goal isn't to become perfect. Your goal is to reduce risk with a simple checklist that covers the biggest drivers. So here's a practical heart risk reduction plan you can actually follow. First, know your family history. Ask questions. Write it down. Bring it up at checkups. Second, check your blood pressure correctly, not just once in a panic. Third, don't treat cholesterol like a yes or no label. Watch trends and support it with lifestyle habits. Fourth, support your metabolism: steady meals, less ultra-processed food, more fiber and protein, and regular movement. Fifth, drop nicotine. Reduce binge drinking patterns. Avoid weekend damage. Sixth, fix sleep. Protect it. If apnea signs show up, take them seriously. Seventh, train smart and manage triggers: hydrate, warm up, build gradually, recover, and respect illness. And here's something important: heart health is not just what you do in the gym. A person can exercise a lot and still be at risk if sleep is terrible, stress is constant, blood pressure is high, and nutrition is chaotic. Health is a system. You want the system working together. Now, let's talk briefly about warning signs, because prevention is the goal, but knowing when to act matters too. Some warning signs can include chest pressure or tightness, shortness of breath, sudden unusual fatigue, dizziness, nausea, or discomfort that feels wrong for you. People can experience symptoms differently, and you shouldn't try to tough it out if something feels severe, sudden, or alarming. It's always better to get checked and be safe than to ignore it. Let me end with a quick mindset shift that can literally save lives. Stop asking, "Do I look healthy?" Start asking, "Am I monitoring the real risks?" Because the most dangerous risks are often the quiet ones: the blood pressure you don't feel, the sleep issue you normalize, the family history you never asked about, the stress you think is just life, and the habits you don't count because they happen only sometimes. Here's your challenge: pick one thing from today's list and do it this week. Just one. Maybe it's checking your blood pressure for a few days. Maybe it's fixing your sleep schedule. Maybe it's cutting nicotine. Maybe it's adding a daily walk. Maybe it's asking your family about heart history. One change. 7 days. That's how prevention starts, small steps that stack. If this video helped you understand the hidden reasons healthy people can still have heart attacks, hit the like button so more people see it. And subscribe for more simple, real explanations that help you protect your health without fear or confusion. And comment below. Which of the 7 reasons surprised you most, and what's the one change you're starting this week?